I'd like to welcome everyone to this episode of the System Podcast. This is a very wonderful episode, and we'll be talking about AI in healthcare, revolutionizing diagnosis and treatment. And this episode is with an expert in AI in person of Alamin Magaga. Actually, his profile is too big for me to actually go through, but in summary, I'll tell you that he has 51 certificates. If you check in the LinkedIn profile, he won the Kaduna State Hackathon stuff and is a finalist in one of a hackathon. And also, he has a couple of projects. I would link all this in the description. So I would like to welcome you formally to the program, Mr. Alamin Magaga.
Okay, so thank you very much for that wonderful introduction. So I'm very, very glad to be part of this wonderful session. So thank you for having me on this podcast. And we've been studying transformative impact of AI in healthcare, explore how it is revolutionizing diagnosis and also treatment. So thank you, Yakuza.
Thank you very much. So this episode is going to focus on talking about how AI is revolutionizing the diagnosis and treatment. As we all know, if you see the way things are going right now, you would see that most of the things are being automated. Most of the things AI is being put into it. So here with us, we would be interacting with an expert in the field to help us know things that are going on so far. So first of all, the first thing I would like to hear from you, sir, is I would like you to give us a brief explanation of what AI is and its basic principles.
Okay, so thank you very much once again, Yakuza. So when we're just talking about AI, we're just talking about the simulation of human intelligence. That means the simulation of human intelligence processes in terms of performing tasks that are historically performed by humans. So in just very simple time, you realize that, okay, they are very complex tasks which are being performed by humans, which require substantial reasoning, or which require problem-solving skills. If you look at this factor only performed by humans because it requires intelligence. So they can be able to perform the system very accurately, and also it will very require human intelligence, and also it can be able to perform it in such a way that human beings can perform that task. So that system is called an AI system. So AI system is just a system that is capable of tasks, especially tasks that require human intelligence in terms of reasoning, making decisions, or problem solving. So as you know that we have technologies that can be able to do some kind of task there. But for you to be able to say, okay, this is an AI system, you have to make sure that this technology simulates human intelligence and also problem solving capabilities. Because when you are just looking at the human capabilities, human beings perform tasks in such a very different and also remarkable way. Such that, okay, before we do anything, we have to look at that, we have to put a lot of reasoning. And now we have systems that can also be able to do that. We have machines that can also be able to do that. And this machine performs these tasks with, and also these processes, which in this process include reasoning, problem solving, perception, language understanding. So any system that can also be able to perform human processes which require intelligence, reasoning, and also problem solving, I think that system is classified as AI system. So this is just like, okay, very simple definition of human intelligence, AI, artificial intelligence, because it has been used for almost all day-to-day in our daily activities in our mobile device, auto corrections, and many other things. But for all this system to be able to perform this type, also has to be complemented with software, because AI is just a field, but it has some branches that also aided it in this kind of task. Which sort of branches we call it machine learning? We have the natural language processing. We have the computer vision. So, for example, here, when we're talking about the machine learning, these are also fields of AI. But they recommend the AI be able to perform this as accurate. So this is just like a very brief principle of how AI works and also the principle that surrounds the AI systems.
Okay, thank you very much for that clear and illustrative explanation of AI. Now, there's something that caught my mind in your explanation. You said a tool that could be able to do like kind of human intelligence. So is there a clear difference between human intelligence and artificial intelligence?
Okay, yes, there's clear difference between human intelligence and also artificial intelligence. So, for example, it's just normal. We're just talking about intelligence, just talking about the ability, we're just talking about the cognitive ability to do things accurately and also in the best way. So, for example, now, the most normal format is that humans, we learn to the examples from that. That means from example, from experience. But if you look at just the human intelligence, you find that for human beings, we have to learn things since when we are small, and also how we gain those build this experience from time to time until we become very expert and until we become very expert at specific tasks. But for artificial intelligence, it learns from examples, it learns from data. Then for any AI system to really perform, hello?
Yeah, Musi.
So for any system to be able to perform very good and also it has to learn from examples. So that means that, okay, human intelligence, we are talking about in terms of like biological, that means it has to be with consciousness, creativity, and also intuition. But in terms of artificial intelligence, this has to be through what algorithms. It's just like a mathematical algorithm that learn samples, that learn from data. It's just like garbage in, garbage out. But human intelligence just has to be just a biological intuition that has to do with consciousness, creativity, and also ability to solve problems. But the clear difference is that for the human sense, we learn it through when we are small, and then we also go to also become expert in that specific, which is very intelligently. But for AI system, it is just a mathematical algorithm that is being created. First, it is being just a mathematical algorithm. It has no consciousness, but it can learn from examples that perform better when you give it a lot of examples. So just like having a kid, so okay, when we are small from the beginning, we can be able to we can be able to identify. Okay, when you see a card, you say, okay, this is a card. But tomorrow, someone can just, when a kid never saw a rabbit, that's okay, this is a card. Why? Because maybe at the beginning he just saw only one card. But by the time that child is being exposed to more cards, he can now be very confident and say, okay, when I say any different card, he can use, okay, this is a card. So you find that, okay, that person can be able to learn. He learned it from since when he's small. But for an AI system, which it doesn't have that consciousness, but it learned from example that you gave it. So what happens is that for any AI system to be able to say, okay, this is a card, what you need is that you need to get a lot of images of cards. You need to get thousands of images of cards and train a mathematical algorithm based on that. And from those images, it can be able to understand and draw patterns and inferences, and then be able to accurately classify, okay, this is a card. So yes, there is a clear difference between human intelligence and also artificial intelligence in terms of the learning capability and also the consciousness. Because definitely we just are talking about biological and also natural terms in terms of even the consciousness, creative and intuition. But when you're talking about artificial intelligence, it's just a mathematical algorithm. It's not like consciousness. It's just a mathematical algorithm that is being created to learn from example, to learn from data.
Wow. Seriously, you have actually clarified this thing. In fact, personally, I did not really understand this thing until now. Thank you very much for clarifying this very important concept which people used to misinterpret. Now, the next thing is that now I'd like you to kind of, though you have talked about different forms of AI also, but here I would like you to just briefly outline kind of AI technology used in healthcare.
Okay. So when you're just talking about AI is a very, very broad term. That means it contains a lot of subfields, it contains a lot of branches. But you find that okay, there are different AIs being used. But each of the AIs that we have been seen in our domain, each of these belong to a specific branch of an AI. Besides a specific branch of AI. So for example, here we have the machine. So when you're talking about the machine learning, we are just talking about it's a just branch of AI that people example. So it's one of the most popular branch of AI because of its applications being widely used. So it's just like the ability of a system or a computer to learn from examples and also impose based on more examples. That means it doesn't have to be completely programmed. It doesn't have to be explicitly programmed. It just has to give it data and then it will also be able to learn from data and then give you a response. When you look at this machine learning,
you said that its ability to learn from example. Is it the programmer that will be feeding the example or is it the user?
One thing is that for you as a machine engineer, you have to first, there are a lot of steps of machine learning. First, you have to get the data set. So when you get the data set, you have to pre-process the data set into the right format and then feed it into a machine learning model so that the model can learn from those data and then make a good prediction and have a very good accuracy. So when I'm talking about the task of including program is that For example, a logical form is that when you are seeing explicit program, you're saying, okay, what that means, for example, I'm building a system that will be able to maybe predict the price of house or something. So definitely, if I'm trying to write that in programming aspect, I have to write every scenario. That means I have to say, okay, if this house has a social number of square feet, has number or social number of rooms, has social number of complement, has social number of features, then the price of the house is going to be social amount. So you understand that you have to put every logical form, which is not possible because maybe a script can be 200 point something, 0.0 point something. You find it is like endless number. So, but in terms of machine learning aspect, you don't have to do that. You just need to get the data set and feed the machine learning model. So on the data, the machine learning model will understand, okay, I have maybe 100,000 information of housing, and I built a machine learning model with those data. So the machine learning will understand, okay, from this 100,000 data set, information of house I have in my data set, I can be able to understand, okay, if this house has this number of rooms, has this number of toilet, then the price of amount. It's just like normal prediction. It's the same thing like a person that has been exposed to, okay, someone that has experience in selling houses, or let me say, call them like the people who are selling houses on something like the agents.
Yes.
So you understand that when you come to these people, you say, okay, I have a house, the house is located in this area, and it has this number of rooms and this feature. Then that person can like be able accurately say, okay, based on my experience on selling many houses, that house is going to cost so amount. So the same thing with this machine learning. For this machine learning system to perform better, I don't have to say, okay, if this house is this number, the price should be this. No, you have to get those historical information of houses with their price and then feed it into the machine learning model. So from those houses there, the machine can be able to, the machine learning model and the AI can be able to learn, okay, this house, when you give the system, okay, I have maybe this number, a house with this kind of feature, the system can be able to predict accurately based on the information it needs, because it needs from the example you feed it. Do you understand? Yes. That is what you need without being explicitly programmed. You don't have to program every possible scenario of houses.
It's clear. It's clear actually. This is a wonderful thing actually. Now, some of the fields of medicine like radiology, pathology, oncology, and so, in fact, even beyond that now, they are relying a lot on AI to be able to diagnose disease easily. Now, how is AI actually improving that stuff? Since now somebody don't really have to be a professor to kind of diagnose it, he will just get the tool and put it there and he will be able to know what is that. I just want to know how AI is used to improve that diagnostic accuracy.
Okay, so I think this is very, very popular, especially because during this earlier this years, I think there's a lot of advancement and also a lot of growth, and also great milestone has been achieved in terms of diagnosis related to AI discovery and also research. Because recently, I think not just few years back, I think there's just Google Research which published Google Research. Yes, they published a project which was used to be able to detect diabetic retinopathy. Sorry, diabetic retinopathy there. So what they did is that they were able to get a lot of ophthalmologists, and then they were able to train almost more than 100,000 data set with this and AI models there. So when they use that, the system, they develop an AI-based application which they call automated retinal disease assessment. And this system was very, very accurate. It has a very accuracy in trying to detect this diabetic retinopathy. And with this solution, they're able to even deploy it to other countries, especially that has doesn't have enough eye specialists. So with doctors, with this kind of tool, they don't need maybe someone who is an eye specialist to be able to tell us what kind of disease is being used, to have a very simple diagnosis. So if you look at this kind of major achievement, is that earlier on people have to get all these specialists, but now with just an application on your mobile device, you just have to put the X-ray images, and then that's it. It can be able to tell you, okay, this may be disease, the health issue, and also the disease that may be affecting the kind of the patients already. Yeah. So if you look at also this kind of scenarios, it opens a door in a lot of research. Because even I think 2 or 3 months back, and think I saw just one news about a solution I believe, which was used by Hungarian physicists. So the solution is used to detect breast cancer 4 years before even the cancer was able to even emerge. So if you look at this kind of advancement, that means, okay, this can be able to detect, okay, someone may be able to have a cancer before that person even have the cancer. Because what they did is that, based on the MIT study, they found that, okay, the technology was able to identify the spots that will later develop into a cancer in the mammograms. You know that when we're talking about mammograms, we're talking about the X-ray,
the image of the breast.
Yes, yes. So they are able to identify spots. There are some certain spots in an X-ray, and these spots are not cancer at all. But from the X-ray, they realize that some of these spots usually change or was progressing to cancer in years, that means in previous years. So from this is that with this kind of technology that was even currently being used now in some more advanced countries, you realize that, okay, this has already changed a lot of lives and also have made a lot of effect in our day-to-day activities, especially in the healthcare sectors.
Wow.
And also, apart from that, I think there's also
I wanted to actually talk about even part of your project. There's a project you did for detecting this in brain tumor, right?
Yeah, yes, I think that's just one of some of the projects I've worked on. But when I'm just talking about that, that's why I really want to explain about even the subfield of AI, because there are a lot of different subfields of AI, and each subfield is associated with a specific application that you can build from that specific branch of the AI. So, for example, when we're talking about the machine learning, we're talking about things that has to do with regression tags. We're talking about has to do with what classification tags. And we're talking about like the computer visions and many other things here. For example, let me just talk about the chatbots. For now, currently, what is, I think, one of the major trends of AI you are talking about is the conversational chatbot, or let me say generative AI. So we find that there are a lot of health assistant chatbot that is being deployed in different health fields. So this chatbot, you can just go there, a chat with the AI system, and even ask for a specific advice related to your health issue. And the AI system can be able to tell you a very relevant information on how to be able to do or to treat your disease. And sometimes they can even recommend some specific health alternatives and also advice. So when you just look at that, these are some branches. This I was talking about the branches, and this has to do with maybe the natural language processing. You understand? So there are a lot of branches of this AI system that are helping and also facilitating healthcare services in different sectors. So what I just understand is that, for example, now in the machine learning aspect, there are a lot of solutions that are there. For example, you can be able to build a solution to say, okay, I want to be able to predict whether a person will have a heart failure or not based on historical data of health. Maybe people who had heart failures or heart disease. You can be able to get their data set, and from there you understand, okay, this some specific people already have a cardiac arrest or death based on those based on disease information. So if you look at this, you are talking about the machine learning because you are feeding the system with that data and learning from it. Then we have what we call the natural language processing. And this natural language processing is a branch of what AI, which has to do with what human language. That is ability of a system, one computer to understand and also translate human language. So this is very, very applicable, especially in our mobile device. Sometimes when you're just typing in your phone, you find that there is this auto corrections or what are they calling it?
Auto correct, yes.
Yeah, you just automatically correct everything. We have the text summarizers. We have entity recognition systems. So, for example, in terms of this, some text summarizers, entity recognition system, it is being deployed. There are a lot of tools that have been developed with these technologies that maybe you have a very huge cache or a lot of information of health data, maybe in the hospital. So you know that definitely it will take time. So maybe for a doctor to just go there, look at your file, try to extract some key details there. But now with this AI system, you can just be able to summarize and extract only the key points from those health patients' data. You can be able to even recognize, and some chatbot, you can even recognize some key details from the patients. For example, maybe the patient is trying to narrate maybe the symptoms that is affecting him or her. So from there, the chatbot can be able to extract those keywords and even give maybe a brief recommendation on what may be wrong with that specific patient. So if you look at this, we are just talking about the natural language processing because we have to do with what? Human language, translation and understanding human language. And then we have the computer visions. So these computer visions are very, very good in MRI scans, try to detect and maybe tumor in X-ray images and other different types that require visual information. So these are just some few branches of AI that has been used extensively in healthcare services and also healthcare in terms of diagnosis and also treatment.
Wow, that's great. Seriously, the field of AI is actually revolutionizing medicine, and maybe in the future, very few doctors will be needed. That's nice. Now, the next thing now I wanted to actually talk about is, like, now the way medicine is kind of changing is we are going into personalized medicine. Things like pharmacology are doing things like pharmacogenetics. That's studying your genetics and giving you drugs based on your specific genetics. And internal medicine too are doing their part, studying you and treating you based on you. So,
Yeah.
and doctors might not be enough. So how do you think AI will enhance this field, like to be able to do personalized medicine, whereby the data of a person, the whole AI will study and it will give specific drug and specific advice based on that person?
Okay. Okay. So when I'm just talking about personalized treatment, we're talking about precision medicine because we are just talking about a tailored treatment, maybe based on the disease, the gender or the origin or location of that specific patient, which may have to do with specific treatment that is being meant for only that patient. So AI usually now, I think precision medicine is one of the most popular trends in AI because AI cannot analyze patient data to create a very personalized treatment plans, tailored therapies that individual patient's profiles. When a patient already have their own profiles, there are a lot of information contained in your profiles. So from there, based on other examples and a lot of training from other data sets, this system would be very, very good in trying to say, okay, this is the best medications or best medical treatment that can be used for the treatment of that specific individual patient and any other patient. So it is very, very particular useful. It is useful especially in oncology for creating a customized cancer treatment protocols. Because one thing about a person is that whatever you do, any information you provided, that is very, very substantial because it's going to have something that will help you with your own treatment. So all your historical health data you provided, that system or that AI system can be able to learn and also provide you with the best recommendation tailored to what your specific health issue. So it is very, very useful, especially in oncology for creating customized cancer treatment protocols and any other things. Also, we have what we call the AI AI that is used in instrumental in monitoring chronic disease by analyzing data. For example, now we have a lot of devices that people are wearing, especially in people that have maybe a heart disease. People they can be a lot of implant. Now, patients can also even wear a wearable device in there, maybe just like this now. This device, what is it doing? What is getting data for that patient, his symptoms, his heartbeat, his every major health information is being needed. It's not taking those data and then transmitting it to the platforms for the AI to be able to analyze and give its best recommendation. So this will help, for example, in proactive management and also will just help maybe hospital visits. For example, when you're very stressful, a lot of these wearables can be able to alarm us, okay, you're very stressful, maybe your BP is very high. You understand? So this will tend to give you even an alarm to say, okay, please, you have even to take care of yourself before it becomes very worse. So if you look at this, just has to do with this is very, very useful, especially in personal. And this all has to do with AI because the AI has been showing a lot of data. So with all of the information, all the input the data is taken from the patient, it is being utilized in the AI algorithm to provide the best recommendation and also the best advice for that specific patient. So when your VP is high, the AI can be say, okay, maybe your VP is high. When you take a lot of sugar, it can be able to tell you, okay, you have a high cholesterol, you may be reached to maybe a cardiac arrest or a lot of things. So this is something that is completely transforming the health sector, especially in very, very advanced nations. A lot of leaders now are using a lot of devices that have completely almost integrate and also utilize this AI almost in their day-to-day activities.
Yes, and also, there's no way a doctor will be able to continuously get accurate data like an AI which is implanted into a patient. So definitely, AI is already winning in this case.
Yeah. And now things are being made very easy. Before earlier, for example, sometimes there may be a very need for maybe an implant, a very simple incision to maybe implant the device. But now with just your wearable device, a lot of information can be kept. And a lot of information can be given.
That's great. Now, This is one of the most controversial aspects of AI, which is the talking about the ethical considerations and the potential risk associated with using AI in healthcare. Like, healthcare is a field of privacy. And now, like, an AI tool gets in your data. What do you think about this? Is there any risk of maybe your data going out, like people using it, or maybe there's something I heard, they said data hacking also, or data something like that. I don't know much about it, but what do you think? What can you say about this aspect?
Okay, I think one thing I learned about data is that especially health data, it is very, very sensitive because it's something that people can really die because of it, because health data is very, very sensitive. It's very, very sensitive issue. So there is this kind of, I think, issues, a lot of debate going on globally in international forums, in the local stage about policies and also regulations and also the ethical policies that should be able to guard this kind of almost general data. So I believe that almost every organization, especially international organizations, tech organizations, startups, have a lot of policies that has to do with data. Because for all of this data, despite we don't have it, like there are a lot of debates going on how to have like a globalized consortium of trying to say, okay, this is just the global and ethical rules should guide all data policies in the world. There are a lot of debate, especially with regard to AI on that. So one thing is that a lot of these organizations, let me say Google, OpenAI, they have a specific policy. Not even them, even the local organizations that are utilizing those data have policies. There's no way you can just go there and say, okay, let me have your data. But even for you to be able to access health data, some of even the hospital, they can't just give you, okay, take all this data. There's a lot of things that is going on. Before even maybe companies or when someone is trying to build a solution or a startup where was trying to build a solution based on personalized data, what's usually happening is that there is a lot of steps going on. So in some scenario, they say, okay, let us just move anything that can be able to tie that data to a page to that individuals related to data. That means maybe if a company want to build a health system and they require data from hospital, first they have to go through a lot of protocols. And also through the process, they have to be a lot of things in place to make sure that no one can be able to say, okay, this specific data belongs to this person or belong to that person. And apart from that, I think even the people who have maybe the first have access of data, there are a lot of rules and regulation guiding to make sure that, okay, they don't tamper with this data or they don't share it. Because in some scenarios, especially, they can't just give you data directly. They have to come up any form of identity. They have to blank almost every form of identity that can be able to tie that data to a specific person. So all of this data you can be able to get is very difficult. Okay, this data belongs to so person. This is number. So they have to remove and blank almost all of those identity. So you'll be only left with all these anonymous data. So it's very difficult to say, okay, this data belongs to this person. No, all of this identity has to be like removed or blanked from the company or from the person that was trying to do the solution or to do the machine learning or to do any other task. So there are a lot of protocols going on, and also there are some kind of scenarios, and also there are a lot of issues that people are talking about. Okay, their data have been accessed. But one of these, for example, this OpenAI and other large companies, what they usually do to get the access to data, let me talk in not only in the aspect of health data, is that we have what we call the web scraping. For example, maybe you are a newspaper company, you are posting information every day regarding news in a country or in your locality. So they can just go to your website and they scrape all of this data. So you find out, okay, this data is already there, but yes, you didn't give the access for someone to use the data, but you also didn't put restrictions for someone not to use your data. So it's very, very easy for someone to just go there and say, okay, I can just access your data and then use it for my personal gain. Apart from that, I think just some few months back, I think OpenAI or there's this one international news agency, they have an agreement that, okay, if you are going to use our data, that means all the business insights we have been provided, you have to give us a token or you have to give us some money. That means you are going to pay us for us to give you data. So if you look at what about other organizations that don't have a say? So I think this is just one of the issues that is being discussed at the global stage. Okay, what about the others? Can you choose? Why are you going there to just get data and then train your ChatGPT or train your very large language models without even the permission of the user? So the issue of ethical consideration AI is very, very controversial issues, and it is still going on. There are a lot of questions. The European Union are already crafting and the rules and regulations for the European countries to abide by related to AI. So I think, but in terms of health data, especially health data, there are a lot of protocols to be followed before you can be able to access them. That is very difficult for you. So, okay, I'm reading a system, I can get health data directly. It's very, very difficult. Even the data you can be able to access, you find that all the identities has been coincided. It's very difficult for you. Almost impossible to say, okay, this data belongs to the person, because anything that can be related to that person has been removed. But when you're talking about, there may be some kind of loopholes there, but I think a lot of attention is being directed toward that specific aspect, and a lot of organizations, even those who are not, or even those not in the national state, they still have a protocol on how to protect their data policy.
Okay. So this is like great work have been put in place. Yeah, great work have actually been put in place. Now, the next thing like I would like to talk about is what's your perspective on the future of AI in healthcare? Do you think in the nearest future, like we'll be seeing robot doctors, or would like the only time maybe we would see 2 or 3 doctors and the rest will be AI that is doing everything? What's your perspective about the future?
Okay, so I think for me, if you look at AI, let's just even take it from now on. You'll find that in the advanced context, this AI has been already there. It is now taking major aspects. It's now transforming the healthcare sector, drug discovery. It is now transforming the biotechnology companies, the drug companies. So even just now, we find that that's what now even people are even debating. So what's even the future of mankind? Because we're talking about almost every task that can perform by man. Sorry, by human, you find that now AI is almost doing almost more than that. More than that, yes. So for example, in the drug discovery aspect, earlier on you have to do different trials and error for you to be able to discover. You have to add this specimen. But now, with just an AI system, you can just allow the system to be able to simulate the process. And then from there, you can even discover a specific medical treatment. So if you look at one,
I wanted to even talk about that. They said you don't have to be doing this and that. Like AI can tell you the possible pathway of the research that can possibly work. So, you would cut all the costs.
Yes, definitely. So someone instead of to spend even very fewer than that. In some scenarios, you can even discover a drug. It can discover the best alternative for it to even follow, because it can process a lot of information due to its computational resources and what data set it has been assessed. So one thing is that the AI, I think AI is just the future, because definitely, whether we like it or not, in just a few years, even here in the developing countries, definitely we have to come to terms to say, okay, we have to accept this and start using it, because the world has already started using it. Developing countries have already started using robot for surgery. They have already started using AI system for recommendations, for health assistance, and any other things. Even here currently in Nigeria, we find that some situation and some scenarios, there are some health startups that are now integrating AI in their own solution. So the AI is completely the future, because I think it's going to revolutionize almost every aspect of the healthcare sector, not only the healthcare sector. It's going to revolutionize every sector in the world. So the issue about this AI, you just think, okay, how are you going to also start using AI for your own benefit? Because AI is the future.
Yes. Seriously, if you don't follow AI, it's just like you are leaving yourself backward. So now, what advice can you give, like we that are medical students and other medical professionals, what advice can you give to stay informed about and adapt the advancement in AI?
Okay, so I think the advice is like very simple, because definitely when this technology comes, you just have to find a way to also use it. Because I think there are a lot of articles going on and a lot of research talking about, okay, AI is going to remove millions of jobs. But at the same time, AI is going to also create millions of jobs. It's also going to increase the GDPs of a lot of different sectors, a lot of content. So one thing is that health professionals can stay informed by just engaging with continuous education programs, especially in terms of AI. Because even when you just go now online, you find that you have AI in medicine, we have AI in health, you have digital health research, AI.
Now, thank you very much. You said like education in AI. I would like you to give some brief examples which some people can enroll into crash courses that can help them enhance their knowledge in AI, which they can apply in their medicine.
Okay, for example, now there is this course I think I finished. It's not even a course; it's a specialization. It's called the course is called AI in medicine. The course is by deeplearning.ai. So in the course, you find that you can be able to see how to even build a very AI model for predicting different issues, maybe for detecting cancer in brain tumor, for detecting cancer in chest image, had a lot of different health issues there. You can be able to build that system by yourself when you enroll in this course. Apart from that, there are a lot of different AI in medicine, in healthcare processing Coursera that you can just find there. When you just go there, you can just go and then apply for financial and enroll in this course. And this course, they are very, very interesting course, especially the AI medicine professional course. So from there, you can learn almost different aspects. You can see how AI is revolutionizing the healthcare sector. You can also learn on how you as a medical person can utilize AI for your own good. Maybe by saying, okay, I just want to be like maybe AI specialist in healthcare. Maybe from there you learn how to integrate AI in diagnosis, prognosis, medical treatment, and also precision medicine. So there are a lot of all these courses that you can just go there, put a lot of your time. They will give you all the technical and also pragmatic aspects for it, even utilizes AI by building solution with it. Apart from that, there are a lot of courses. When you go to Coursera, EDS, and different platform, you can be able to learn how to be able to even use this AI for your own good. So the issue of this AI, I think AI has come to say a lot of medical professionals are now mastering and also become very specialized in AI in healthcare. Because definitely now all the solutions, because if you just go there, especially in applications that are being enrolled, research and any other, you find that most of the research has to do with AI. Almost every research has to do with AI. In terms of maybe climate, culture, transportation. Because I was just reading some document, just yesterday. I come across almost 3 applications. The same thing I'm talking about maybe digital health research and all this.
Yeah, Musi. Hello?
So definitely, okay. So definitely, the easiest way is just go to this online platform. Especially, I would recommend you to maybe go to Coursera. There are different courses provided by universities, by top organizations in the world related to AI and healthcare, AI and medicine. You can just go there, enroll, and then start the course. I even apply for financial so that you can get certifications.
Okay. Wow, that's great. Actually, you have drilled into this whole thing of AI, and which is actually we are talking about the future, because AI is here and AI is the future. So in summary, we've really drilled into what AI is by talking about understanding AI in healthcare, AI in diagnosis, AI in treatment and patient care, and ethical consideration, future of AI in healthcare, and also some advice to professionals. So, sir, I would like to get some of your final thoughts to the audience.
Okay, so I think my final say is that based on the podcast we have, we already highlighted the profound impact of AI on how it is revolutionizing healthcare through improved diagnosis, personalized treatment, and enhanced patient care. So also, why there are these ethical and also practical challenges, the future of AI in healthcare is very, very bright and also full of potential. Because definitely that's what is going to be like the major aspect. That's what's going to completely revolutionize the healthcare services. So for me, I think just my factor is that AI is already here to stay and it's going to take over almost everything. So for you to be able to be on the path, to also be on the lane, you have to also learn how to also use AI in your own professional field. So if you're a medical doctor, learn how to also use AI for your own medical field. So I think that's the only thing that I'm going to say with regarding to this final word. But apart from that, I would just say, okay, thank you for having me be part of this transformative podcast. I think it is very, very important, and also I also learn a lot from having this discussion with you.
Thank you very much for tuning into the episode. I must say you have actually given out a wealth of knowledge. In fact, if someone would have want to go and search for this knowledge, I'm sure he will read many different books, but you have actually outlined the knowledge and bring them together in an understandable way. Personally, I've improved myself a lot on this. I'm so much grateful for using your limited time on this. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Yehuda, for this wonderful podcast.
Okay, bye for now.